Hello there, my bunnies. It's Ticky Trinkets here, and today I have for you another polymer clay tutorial. Sorry this tutorial is going up late. It was the 4th of July week when I was making this, so holidays kept me behind. Just spending time with family, relaxing. I hope you all understand, because you all have lives, and I hope you respect that I have mine too. But anyways, I still hope you enjoyed this tutorial. This is my 6 tutorial from Little Nightmares. I know RoArt already did a tutorial for 6. Shout out to RoArt. Love their channel. I don't know if it's a he or she, so I'm going to go vague here and say their channel. But I love their channel, and their tutorial was very amazing. It helped me out with how I made my hood. I'll even post a link to their video down below, just, you know, showing them some love. I don't know if they'll appreciate that or not, but their hood part of the tutorial helped me out a lot, but everything else I did on my own. This is kind of a simplistic version. I didn't do all the detailing on her jacket, but that was just my opinion, and it's easier for you guys out there to follow along with everything. Sorry, I got glaze on my fingers. But yeah, since she did it, they did a tutorial already. They did 6 standing up, kind of like the figure that comes with the exclusive game, holding the lighter out. I wanted to do kind of like the crouch position that she's in, like when she's like really hungry, but I still wanted her face to be visible, so I did it where her face is lifted up and not crouched into her chest. And I put keys on the bottom, because you know you have to find keys to get into rooms. Her name on the bottom with a paint pen, but you could use regular paint too. You'll see that later in the tutorial. And it's a nice firm wooden base, because this is a cake topper. Because I think that's what I'm going to start doing, is mostly cake toppers. It seems to be that's what everybody likes, is cake toppers, rather than jewelry and accessories and stuff like that. Just giving you a nice little 360 with my hand in the way, right? As usual. But yeah, like I said, this is a pretty simple tutorial, so hopefully it'll be easy for you all to follow along. And this will be going up for sale on my Etsy shop. I don't know if it's the same day or later on when this is uploaded. Either way, I'll post a link to my Etsy shop down below in the description like I always do. Or I'll post my Etsy shop name that you can just search through Etsy and find it. Let me think. Other than that, I think that's it. I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial and it's easy for you to follow along. Thank you all for watching, my bunnies, and I'll see you in the tutorial. Bye-bye. For this tutorial, you're going to need the following colors: yellow, black, and beige. I just used Sculpey brand, as you can see on the yellow kinda. First, we're going to start with the beige colored clay. And you're going to need to roll out several balls, 1 big one for the head, 2 small ones for her hands, and her legs and her feet. First, we're going to start with the one for her head, and if you make this too big like I did, it was actually a little too big, just readjust later. Just go ahead and roll it into an egg shape, just rolling it kind of like a teardrop, but you know, don't make it pointed. Roll it in the palm of your hands very gently. Then after you rolled it into the egg shape, go ahead and press down flat. I'm not pressing on that other ball, even though it's really close, it just looked like it. And see, this is how it's supposed to look. Flat on one side, still rounded on the other. Next, you're going to make the hands, so you're going to take the 2 small pieces, and these ones you're actually going to roll into small teardrop shapes like I've done right here. And after you roll them into teardrop shapes, you're going to go ahead and cut the top parts off to make them flat like I've done so. I used the long blade to make them cut more evenly. Next, you're going to take your X-Acto blade and indent where the fingers are going to be. I know I can make fingers look so much nicer, but this is just my style. Just accept that this is my style. And then take your dotting tool and wrap the hands around it to give them more of a concave feeling, so you can wrap them around her legs. Next, you're going to make thumbs, which I do individually. You take 2 small balls, roll them into tiny teardrop shapes, and then you go ahead and attach them to the side of the hands, the top part, because thumbs are on the top of your hands. The reason why I didn't have these 2 little balls rolled out prior is because I didn't want to lose them on my desk. Next, we're going to start on her legs. Sorry, my allergies are acting up. You're going to roll it between your fingers at the top and the bottom, making the top rounded and the bottom more narrow and pointed. See, I just rolled it on one side, then rolled on the other, so that the middle stays fat, because, you know, your calves are kind of bulgy. So you can see it right here, the calves bulge out, and the knees are rounded, and the ankles are very narrow. Headphone users are about to die with these coughing. Sorry. Then I just use my long blade to cut the ankles off to make them flat, and that's how it looks thus far. So you're just going to take them and bend them right at the center like I've done right here. Just wrap them around your tool again. This tool works for so much more than you think. That way her knees are bent inward. And you can see them right here. This is like a top view. I'm also going to give you a side view right here. And as you can see, they look kind of funny, but you won't even notice once they're on the sculpture because her arms will be wrapped around it. Next, we're going to start with her feet. So just take these two balls that I'm pointing at right here. And you're going to roll these into very fat teardrop shapes. And then in order to make them feet, we need to press them down flat. So use your finger, gently press them against your work surface. After you've done that, it should look like this. It's kind of hard to tell, but they are a lot flatter now. But still give them some volume, you know, don't squish them. Then take your dotting tool and do like you did with the fingers. Just roll the blade from the back to the front to indent the toes. Next, just take two metal wires, stick them into the feet to make sure they'll fit, and then go ahead and detach them for the moment. Next, you're going to want to make the nose for the head. Again, I didn't make this ball sooner because I didn't want to lose it because it's so tiny. Just roll it into an oval shape between your two fingers and place it right on the face. Now we're done with all the beige, so we're going to go ahead and go into the yellow. You're going to need to roll out 4 balls of yellow clay, 1 being the body, 2 being the arms, and 1 being the hood. The hood piece needs to actually be bigger than the body. I had to make that a lot bigger, trust me. So we're going to start with the body first, which is the one that I'm pointing at. Again, it needs to be very, very large. This is like an inch in diameter on this ball, or 1.5 inches, very large. Roll it into a very large teardrop shape, and then just kind of bend it in the center. It's kind of hard to see here, but I'm going to give you a side angle so you can see how it's bent. It's kind of like a crescent moon, as you can see here. Now, in order to make it flat, because, you know, her raincoat's kind of flat at the bottom because of where it dangles, just take your blade and just cut it right down where the fatness is. I couldn't think of another word. Then use your large ball dotting tool and just indent 2 holes for the knees to go into. Then use a blending tool to blend the feet into the legs. Use a dab of glue if you need to. And then use glue to go ahead and glue the legs into the body. This is what it looks like from the front. This is the side view. If you don't want to glue it yet, you don't have to. That way you can take them off to work more easily. It's all a matter of opinion right now. Next, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start on the bottom part of her hood, which I actually forgot to include this, so I had to add this. You're just going to roll it out flat, and you're going to cut this into a rectangular piece, so bust out the long blade again, cut it into a rectangle. I'm sorry. And then just take this rectangle and wrap it around the body like I've done here. That way it just barely covers her knees and goes halfway up her dress. And then you take your blending tool and you're going to blend all those edges all the way around, including her butt, because you need it to sit evenly. And this is where I just blended it onto the body. This is my right hand side, her right hand side, and her left hand side. And I'm also going to give you a front facing picture too. I'm trying to give you better views so you can see how well I've done something. Here you can see. I made the jacket kind of push inward towards her legs too. I used a reference picture. Always use a reference. Then I just took my X-Acto knife and did a long slit down the front of the raincoat for the slit in her coat. Then I just went on ahead and stuck on the head, but it's not attached. It's not glued yet. Just making sure it fits. Next, we're going to make the sleeves of her jacket. You're going to take these 2 rounded balls, roll them into 2 very long teardrop shapes. And then you're going to use your pointed tool or some type of tool and indent holes so the hands can go inside of it. Again, using glue to make sure things are sturdy. Glue the wrist inside of the holes on the sleeves. And then use glue to attach it to the body. As you can see, that's the position I desired. I liked it like it was, so I left it right there. The head is not glued yet, though. The head is not glued. Do not glue the head. Next, we're making the hood. As you can see, I made the ball a lot larger. This is about a 2-inch in diameter ball. Then you're going to take it and press it down kind of flat, where it's flat on one side, rounded on the other. Then take your long blade, press all 3 sides like a triangle. 1 and 2. And then you're also going to press the bottom so it's flat as well. And you can see that right here, and 3. I'm sorry, you guys. My allergies are killing me. I live in the South. Then take all 3 sides slightly aback from the flat side and pinch it between your fingers, rolling it in order to make pointed shapes, kind of like a Luma from Super Mario Galaxy. See, it kind of looks like a Luma without the legs. Just pinch it and roll it between your fingers to make it pointed on 3 sides. And that's what it looks like. Next, you're going to flip it over to the flat side and cut a giant triangle shape out. This is very similar to row art. That's why I'm going to, put row art's video in the description, the link it. Then you take a ball dotting tool and make it nice and flat on the inside because we're going to paint this black. Just take black acrylic paint and whatever paintbrush you have on hand and go ahead and paint that and let it dry before you do anything else. Then take the head, cut it off just slightly at the bottom so it'll sit flat. As you can see, I made it a lot smaller here. I needed it to be smaller to fit in the hood. Next, we're finally going to go into the black, and this is just going to be for her hair, so you're going to roll out a very small ball of black clay. And all you can see is her bangs, so that's all we're making is her bangs. You're going to roll it out nice and flat with your X-Acto blade or your rolling pin. Cut it into a square shape. I use my X-Acto knife here, but you can use your long blade here too. Then use your X-Acto knife to cut out 1, 2, 3 triangles from the bangs, just to make it look, nice and jagged like her hair is. Then take your blade and drag it across to make lines so it looks like her hair has individual hairs. Then stick that on the head and stick the head inside the jacket. Now you can go ahead and glue the head inside the jacket. Now you can. And you can glue the head to the body now. I mean, like the hood. Then after everything's glued and dried, go ahead and take your alcohol and Q-tips and clean it off. Then we're going to take black acrylic paint and we're also going to paint the bottom part of her jacket where her legs are at. As you can see, I painted the edges of the jacket and the inside just a little bit, not the whole legs. As you can see here, I took my dotting tool and dragged it across to just make a frowning face, and then she's ready to bake. After baking for 350 for about 14 to 15 minutes, let her cool off, and then you're going to need the glazer. Again, I use polyurethane varnish, floor varnish from Walmart. It's in a light green can. Then you're just going to take a wooden base for her to sit on. After she's dried completely, paint this base. And this is what it's going to look like. Just nice and black, ominous and creepy like the game. And then I took some metal beads, some metal findings. I found some keys at Walmart. I just glued this to the base on both sides. And I glued her to the base in the center and took a paint marker and wrote her name. But you can use a paintbrush or whatever you desire. And that's it, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed this tutorial, even with my bad voice. And thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.